All right, welcome back to our enterprise class, and we have a big day today. This is one of the days that I've been looking forward to. What did we talk about? What were we talking about last Thursday? Let's rehash this because we got to jump right into the stream again. What did we talk about? What were our primary topics?
I was here last week.
Roberto.
The cult needs to be constantly involved.
The cult needs to be constantly involved. Okay. What else? Nick. Pastries. Nick, you can't talk about pastries if you don't have them. That's the best way to fail my class. What else? Premium price. Okay. Excellent. Go-to-market strategy. Thank you, Katie. Katie just saved you guys, by the way. Go-to-market, which means what? How do we do this? Who is our go? How do we do this? Take it to the cult. Nick is on the path to redemption. Take it to the cult. But more importantly, what? What do we have to do? What do we have to build out? Your prototype, the story. Huh? Platforms. Thank you. What are platforms? Tell me what platforms are.
Your internet presence, including social media.
Social media. Here we go. Bingo, bango, bongo. Social media. Social media. You have to create burning platforms. So we're talking about driving these, and what, well, let me ask you, driving what? What is social media? What platforms are we talking about?
Facebook.
Okay, excellent. Facebook, who else? Twitter. What else? LinkedIn. What else? Instagram. What's the big one that we're missing here? Well, Pinterest is a big one. You're right there, too. And Instagram's a big one, too. But YouTube. YouTube. People love videos, right? You rarely hear of just one picture becoming viral. It happens, but typically it's videos that become viral, right? So YouTube. But you build all this out. What are we missing? What are we missing? Where do we drive? Where are we at? Where are they going to go? Website. You have to drive them to the website, right? And what is it that we want at the website? What is it we want them to do at the website? Do we want them to say, oh, wow, this is a really neat website. That's neat. Or what do we need them to do, Robert? Buy, right? Exactly. We need them to buy. And this is called what? What's the term I'm looking for? Conversion rate. Thank you. Robert is on a roll. Conversion rate, right? And what's a good conversion rate in the market in general? In general. What's that? 1%. Boy, that is terrible. Could you live off of a 1% conversion rate, Brent? Not very well. Not very well. A conversion rate of 1%, that means you get 100 people to your website and only one buys it? What does that tell you?
That's actually still high.
And that's, oh my gosh, that's high. That is high, he's telling us. So what does this tell you if you have a conversion rate of 1%? Robert?
The wrong people are going to your site.
Oh, there you go. The wrong people. By who? What do we mean by the wrong people?
People that don't intend to use your product.
Yes, they don't intend. They're not even there to buy it, but they got driven there somehow. You don't have them influencing people, and these are the people that you want going to your website. Right? These are the people that have been the early adopters probably, right? You have the cult. They're already evangelizing for you on the cult should be present on every one of these, every single one of these platforms. And then they start talking. They start tweeting. They start getting friends to like you. They start doing videos. They start sending pictures. And all of these people then start going to your website. And now your conversion rate is relevant. And now your conversion rate would be hopefully above 5%. I would be super happy if that happened. And then you're not wasting so much time and energy, right? You're not wasting so much time. You know, there are a lot of people. I listen to social media consultants all the time. And you know what they tell me, Aaron? I can get 10 million people to your website. Are they 10 million people relevant to what it is that I'm selling? Are they potentially my customer? Or are they just 10 million people? Right? And you pay for that. And this is where with marketing, this is why people always say, we need to get the word out. They don't say marketing, because to them, marketing is spending money trying to get 10 million people to their website and hoping that a few people buy, and to them they have wasted money. That's why people eliminate the word marketing from their vocabulary. Small business owners are notorious for eliminating the word marketing from their vocabulary. It's because that means that they're going to pay someone to drive traffic, but it's probably going to be wasted dollars because they're not getting the conversion rate. And they get this experience every time, because every time some social media consultant or SEO consultant comes up and says, look at what we did with this company, look at what we did with that, look what we did. And they're really trying to drive social media so that you can get, and this is the big buzzword, right? Also, search engine optimization. Search engine optimization, right? And search engine optimization and SME go hand in hand, right? You do good on the social media, and you're going to get you're going to get on the Google rankings, right? You'll become relevant there also. What else did we talk about? What else? What other things did we talk about on Thursday? Or Tuesday? Premium pricing, right? Premium pricing. Why? Why do you want premium pricing?
Gives like some value, like different.
You know, you're absolutely right, Nick. You seem like you're always on the right track, except for at the beginning of class. No, it takes him a minute to warm up. He's got to eat. No, you hit it right on the head. People value what they pay for. If you're not paying for it, do you value it? No, not really. Not really. I can't tell you how many things that I have. Let's look at it like this. Have you ever found anything that maybe somebody left at your house or something, or somebody forgot somewhere or whatever? It never stays around very long, does it? No matter how cool it is, no matter how awesome it is, it never stays yours for long. You end up losing it. You end up destroying it. Something ends up happening. You know why? Because you didn't pay for it. That's most of the time, unless it's a present, right? Then you value that because it's a gift. But if you found it, or if somebody gives it to you for free, and they're not a relative, and it's not your birthday, or there's not some kind of holiday, then guess what? You're not going to value it. People value what they pay for. You have to go premium. You have to go high. But here's the other thing. I sell the gnomes, right? The gnomigos. Do you know how many people have told me, oh, if you would only sell them for $19.99, I mean, I'm like, no, I don't want to sell them for $19.99. I'm not interested in being a commodity. And I know not everyone's going to buy them at $40. But I'm not trying to sell them to everybody. And you think, boy, that sounds crazy. Wouldn't you want everyone to have one? Not necessarily. I'm building a brand. I don't want to be a commodity. I'm not Walmart. I don't want you to fall in the Walmart trap where you think volume is the solution to all your problems. You want to be selling to a certain customer. And this customer needs to have money, right? I get a lot of students that tell me, well, Senor Chavez, we're thinking, boy, ASU, we're a big university, and we just want to sell our shirts. We think that our demographic is 18 to 23, 24-year-olds. That's who we're going to sell to. And I'm like, at a premium? You're not going to sell very many shirts. Well, there's 80,000 students here. You're looking at this through the Walmart lens. You only want to sell to the students, or you only want to sell to people. If they don't have money, you need to start selling to the people that do. And that's going to be the experts. That's going to be the cult. I mean, I don't know how many students there are exactly at ASU, but I can tell you that almost every student has shirts that they've gotten for free from somewhere that they're wearing. I'm sure there are students in this class that are wearing a shirt that they got for free. Possibly today. We need to be thinking about how we drive people to our website. We need to be thinking about how we're going to keep relevant with and engage. We talked about engagement and how much more companies make when they engage their customers. You have the ability to actually touch. Imagine big companies like Coca-Cola. Man, they just have to throw money. They have to throw tons of money. But look at Apple. Apple's not throwing tons of money at how many. So I have in the last couple of days I've been asking this question. I've had one person tell me that they have seen an Apple ad recently. How many of you have seen an Apple ad on television in the last, say, 2 weeks? Robert? Alex? Michelle? Katie? So that's actually that's actually a pretty decent percentage. But it's a terrible percentage in the sense that if you looked at it from traditional marketing. If you looked at this from a traditional marketing, that's not a lot of people. That's amazing. That's awesome. There's going to be a line wrapped around the mall. I think, when is that they launch? Is it tomorrow or next Friday that the iPhone comes in? Tomorrow. There's going to be lines out the mall. Or out.
There's a robot waiting already in New York.
There's a what?
There's a robot in New York waiting.
A robot? What do you mean?
A robot. Somebody bought a robot and that's
To wait in line.
and that's just waiting in line.
So you're telling me that only a few of us have seen an ad for an Apple phone or for an Apple product, and there's going to be a line waiting out. How are they doing that? The cult. That's their go-to-market strategy every time. They get people to write about their stuff. They get experts to write about their stuff. And they don't get them to write about it a day or two before. They start leaking information months before. And they start getting these platforms are getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and to each one of these is just burning. 10,000 degrees burning. And then they're like, yeah, we'll throw an ad or two just to cover ourselves, just in case, We'll throw an ad out there. And here in a room of 25 people, we've gotten 5 people that have seen an ad. It's not a big percentage. But boy, they're doing a heck of a job selling these things, aren't they? Because they're engaging. They're engaging. That engagement. That's what's killing Samsung. Right? I know some of you might disagree with me, but Samsung will be the next Sony, the next Nokia, the next in this space. Apple doesn't want to compete. We know Apple doesn't want to compete with Samsung head-to-head. Apple would it would be murder. They wouldn't be able to do it. And they don't want to do it. But they'll be the next BlackBerry. They will be the next BlackBerry. Maybe it won't be as bad as BlackBerry. Maybe it won't be as bad as Nokia or Samsung or Sanyo in the U.S., but they won't have nearly the market share. They won't have nearly the market share that they have now. Okay, so what do you need to have? What do you need to have if you're engaging customers? What do you need to have, Ben?
CRM software.
Oh, Ben. I love Ben. Ben is always on top of the game. He doesn't need to eat, Nick. But Nick gets brought up to speed quick. It only took Nick about a minute. CRM, a CRM system. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. So I'd like you guys to take a second, look at your notes, and I'd like you to give it up. Huh? Oh, leave it up. Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you said give it up. I'm like, wow, we're at a concert now. I want you to, so I had the Colt up here, but I want you guys to give a graduate, TEM ASU graduate, one of the, probably the only, what I would say, individuals that I know that at a business level, at a professional level, at a tech level, at a launching, an entrepreneur level, one of the few people that I know juggles it all at the highest level. No kidding. At the highest level. All of those things. Has competencies and executes at the highest level in all those. You guys want to talk about, languages like the mustache language or whatever, he can talk to you in depth about it. You want to talk to him about launching a product, he can talk to you about it. But he's here to talk today about customer relationship management. So let's give Brent Capello a round of applause. Thank you, Brent, and I'm going to give you this, and you can wear that. And I'm going to go and take notes.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the warm introduction. Hey, everybody. How are we? Good, good. All right, so I'm going to talk to you guys briefly about what a CRM is, and then we're going to talk how we could use one and kind of roll from there. So the reason I want Aaron to leave this on here is because one thing that's important to note is driving this traffic to your website isn't always the best idea. So, real quick, we want to drive these people to a page between this website. So different page. Now, anyone know what that page would be called by any chance? A page in between your website. You're right, landing page. Now, my handwriting is awful, so I'm sorry. I'm on the computer too much.
They're going to tell you it's better than mine.
I doubt it. Landing page. Does anyone know what a landing page is? Anybody?
Just the first page you hit when you're introductory to the page.
Exactly. So what makes a landing page special, and why would I ever want to send someone there first? Can anyone think of what would be the reason that I'd take them here before I sent them here? Why would I put a page in between? So let's just say I'm sending someone who isn't a cult member yet. Let's say I spent money on Facebook ads, which we've all seen. I'm trying to get them to buy something, right? So I'm paying per click every time they click on that ad. I'm not going to send them to my homepage. I'm sending this landing page. Why would I do that? I do it, one, to introduce what it is I'm selling them, and two, to persuade them to be more interested in what it is that my offerings are. My goal on this landing page is not to sell them. I don't want to sell them because I know that this traffic, majority of this is not going to buy from me from jump. I need to warm this traffic up. So we're going to warm them by sending them first to the landing page, giving them a little bit of information, and then giving them what's called a lead magnet. And that's what I'm going to come back to on a lead magnet. But first I'm going to talk a little bit about what a CRM is. Okay, so I am not Aram when it comes to speaking. I'm not nearly as funny or as poignant, but I will get the point across the best that I can. You guys have any questions at any point, just shout them out. Sound good? All right. So the CRM is the central nervous system of your business. What does that mean? It means it's connected to every single part of your company. And it's connected to the most important part of your company, which is, what's the most important part of your business? That's right, customers. And we want to keep them happy. We want to get new customers. We want to keep them engaged. We need customers. Otherwise, we're not a business, period. We're just not a business. We're something else. Even a nonprofit, you need donors. You need customers. Customers make the business. So a classic CRM is just a software, either a software system or a software as a service. There's a bunch of different options out there. Who needs a CRM? Who would need one? Anyone? Everyone in business, right? Because you need customers. So everybody in business needs a CRM. I don't care if it's free or a POS, you still need some type of CRM. There's CRMs that cost you nothing. It's a good place to start. There's CRMs that cost you $50,000 a month. And there's differences between those. And we'll talk about some of those. This is one thing that a Fortune 500 company has in common with that one-person startup. You both need to have a CRM. So if they're doing it, you should be doing it too. So what's the main purpose of a CRM? First off, it's to manage contacts. So it's to manage all your potential customers, your leads, your clients. You need to know who they are and what their interests are. So that's the first thing. It's just to manage your flow, manage your contacts. It's to manage your sales flow, leads. It's to create a sales pipeline. I'm just going to go through some of this and then I'm going to come back and retouch on it. Your sales pipeline. Who knows what a sales pipeline is? Anyone ever work in sales before? Not yet. So, okay.
Is it kind of like a funnel?
Yeah, it's close. So there's stages in a sales pipeline. This is in every single CRM. You're going to have some type of sales pipeline. They all have this. They have contacts and they have sales pipelines. Sales pipeline is broken down in a few different segments. Sales pipeline. Okay, these are your segments. You have a new opportunity. I'm just going to write new op. You have contacting. You have engaging. And you have closing. So what is this? What's a new opportunity? In a sales pipeline, what would it be a new opportunity? A lead. Exactly. So this is a lead. What's a lead? What's a lead? Someone who is interested in potentially buying your product. Some little interest. Doesn't matter what interest that is, just a little bit. Some interest. This lead is going to move around. So it's going to start as a new opportunity. This is a person. This lead is a person. They always start as a new opportunity because you're all potentially my customer. I want to sell every one of you in here. I mean, again, it goes back to what some of the things Aaron was saying. You don't necessarily try to reach everybody, but potentially you're all my customer for my business. So you're all my new opportunity is my lead. Now I'm reaching out to you. So I've contacted you. I called you on the phone and said, hey, have you, maybe I got this lead from, maybe I purchased this lead. I can buy leads too. So maybe I purchased that. And your name was on there as someone who loved fitness. And I had my sales team and they gave you a call. They said, hey, I actually got you on the phone. Said, hey, I want to tell you a little bit about my product, yada, yada. You have now moved into the next stage, which is contacting. So why is that important? Why does it matter that you moved over here? Well, a lot of reasons. First reason is we can take that information and analyze it. So we know that for every 1,000 leads, only 5 are getting contacted. We know that's a bad list. Or these are bad leads. If only 5 people, if every time I try to call someone, no one's answering, then these are bad leads. So after that, we move them into engaging, meaning you said something to me that I found interesting. So my salesmen say, I think this person is interested in this product. So you get moved in engaging. So now this lead is now here. They are no longer a new opportunity. They're no longer contacting. They're now engaging. So they are communicating directly with you. This is good. This is going to be less than this. So these are, you're only going to have so many engaging. You're only going to have so many contacting. You're only going to have so many new opportunities. You're going to move them through the pipeline. Then after that, you want to get them here, closing. And then from here, you have a win or you have a loss. And you can get lost from up here too. A loss would be this is a dead lead, and it's a loss. When you're closing down the lead and you move them to the win category, this is where the CRM does its magic. Because now you can take all this and analyze this data and say, okay, from this group of leads, we're only getting a 1% win. Good? Who has a startup in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people. Okay? How many people want to start their own business? Almost all of you, right? Okay. So is anyone willing to kind of talk about their business a little bit? Okay, cool. Perfect. What's your business?
It's a outdoor recreational application.
Okay. What does it do that you can talk about?
Most of you guys have already heard it. It's like geocaching, except for you go out and instead of just finding small trinkets or paper you can sign, you're actually finding a treasure. Treasure included a monetary reward, tickets to Harkins movie theaters, you got stuff from REI, whatever. It's a giant, virtual treasure chest. So you go out, the experience is getting outdoors, or in the city if we take it there, but right now it's just taking it outdoors. Experience is going out, hunting for it, looking for it, and then you find it and you get a payoff instead of just a little
Great.
box.
Do you have a website yet?
We just found a developer.
Okay. No worries.
So,
And then who's your cult? What kind of people? Who's your cohort?
outdoor adventurists is our cult.
Okay. So let's just say you're advertising on Facebook, and I want everyone to join in on this. Let's say you're advertising, you're spending money on Facebook. What's going to drive them to be interested in that app? What's something that you could put in the copy that would get somebody to click on an ad? Anybody have any ideas? Now, we're only advertising. Go ahead. Okay, great. You get something free. You nailed it. So that is a lead magnet. Now, that's not the only lead magnet, but that's one that works really well. Free. People love stuff for free. They do. So let's just say you have a link on there that says, download our app, and we're going to send you a free t-shirt. And it's really cool looking, and it shows, a free t-shirt. I'm sure you've even seen ads like this on Facebook before. Get something for free, just download our app. So they click on it. You can't send them to the home page because they're going to go to the website and say, well, now what do I do? So you're going to send them to a landing page where it's going to talk about your lead magnet. Free t-shirt. Free tee when you download our app. I know you've all seen stuff like this before. So you don't just let them download it. You need their email address first. Give us your email. Maybe your first name, maybe more. It depends on what you're giving out. Now that information right there, that form, is directly connected to your CRM's API. You guys know what APIs are? Of course, probably, some of you, most of you. Now you're at a new opportunity. You may even want to put them in contacting. It depends on how your pipeline's set up. So what do you do with them? Great. So you know that they wanted a free t-shirt. Well, hopefully they want to learn about your app a little bit more too. But it doesn't matter. They're a new opportunity. They're in here. So now we market to you. Now you can get these leads however you like, but this is a great way to do it. So how do we market to them? I have your email address. What do I do with it? Anyone? Newsletter? Anyone else? Promotions? I communicate. I communicate with you. I try to engage with you. I try to turn you into a cult member. I need to make you a cult member. That's where this all comes back around to the cult that was up here earlier. You are going to be educated on how awesome it is to geocache. Geocaching is the coolest new thing since whatever. Who cares? Because you're trying to get them to geocache. You want them to love geocaching, because if they love geocaching, guess what? I got an app for you. And maybe that app, maybe I charge for the app, maybe it's a freemium, maybe I get advertising on that app, whatever. It's all about generating that cult from that one email address. So how do I do it? Well, I can't just send one email. You're not going to fall in love with me with one email, right? No. You put them into a sequence. The sequence looks pretty much like this. Draw a phone here, something like this. Maybe another email. Okay. Email, 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 call, email. Seems like a lot of spam, right? A lot of shit you don't want. But you'd be surprised, the further down you get, the more this conversion rate increases, because you're getting warm to me. Now you know me. You didn't just click on some link and land on some website. You've been getting 4 or 5 emails from me, and I've been teaching you on the awesomeness of geocaching. Now, 3 emails down, this is in education. I educated you, I educated you, I educated you. Maybe I called you. And then here, I threw you an offer of some sort. Hey, by the way, our app is now 30% off. Or you buy our app today, you're also going to get this for free. So you've been warmed more, you've been warmed even more. Even maybe you got a phone call talking about all the benefits, and then you're thrown an offer. And you're not done here. Because you may still gone through this whole thing and you're still just sitting in contacting, because in these emails, let me clean this off now. In these emails, I'm going to know how interested you are. How am I going to know how interested you are? From an email.
Time spent.
What's that?
Time spent.
Okay, that's good. What else? What's another data point? Clicks, open rate, exactly. So in that email, there's going to be some content, and then there's going to be a link. There's going to be some content, and maybe another link. And up here, maybe your logo. So we are going to measure who opened this, and we're going to know who opened that because we sent you the email through our CRM. So our CRM system sent you this email. We're going to know you got that email, and then we're going to know if you opened it. Then we're going to know which link you clicked on because I need to know which link you clicked on because I'm A/B testing this sucker. I want to know exactly if that's the link that's working, then I'm going to run with that even more. And also, I'm not just sending you one email. This could be a chain of different emails going out. I could be split testing 4 different varieties here of subject lines. So I can find out what's the best open rate, what's the best link, what's the best copy. And all that is managed and analyzed in my CRM. Sounds like a lot of stuff, right? But you know what all that does? It raises this number up big time. Because you don't buy from strangers. You buy from people you know and you trust and you like. It's a lot easier. You can sell a whole lot more that way. Okay. That gives you a good understanding of that. Any questions?
Does it tell you when people like unsubscribe?
Yes, it does. So you will know who unsubscribed. You will also know who marked it as spam, which are 2 separate things, by the way. So if you click unsubscribe, you're very nice. If you mark it as spam, it actually goes as a negative point in your mail sending software. So if you have a lot of spam going out that people are marking spam, like buy Viagra type emails, and you're just putting that this is just spam, you're not, this CRM, say this is Infusionsoft, you're gone, you're cut. They're not even going to keep you around anymore. Now, if you're SAP or you're paying a ton of money for a really big software, you can pay them a little bit more money and everything can be fine. But that is a statistic that is important to make sure that you are not spamming. If they click unsubscribe, never mail them again. They want to be involved. You don't want those types of people.
So when you're mailing these out, you said you're doing it in sequence. Are you doing it like once every month?
Good question. No. You're mailing maybe up to twice a week. You want to stay in their face. You're marketing. You want to be close to them. Some people mail every day. Look at Living Social. They'll mail you every single day and get annoying. It becomes gray mail eventually because they've been blowing you so much. You're like, I don't even look at this stuff anymore. But if you're really providing good information, people will open it every time. You had a question?
Yeah, you mentioned an abbreviation. I didn't recognize, API.
Okay. Who knows what the abbreviation API stands for?
Application Programming Interface.
Beautiful. That's what it means. It's basically a connection between your software and another piece of software. You want to give a better definition?
So it's pretty much like a paying software from your server to someone else's server. I guess like the only example that I have is PayPal. So like if you have a website that accepts PayPal, you'll have an API that'll send those.
It's good enough.
Okay.
So it does. So I can take the code from my CRM. Sometimes they provide you code. Let's say like a web form on my landing page, for example. They'll give me a little snippet of code that I could put on that landing page. So when they put in email address, it uses the API behind the scenes to put that email in my CRM. Make sense? Okay. No worries. Warming the lead, converting that lead into customer, and then what do? So we've warmed this lead, and now this person has purchased from us. Yay, hooray. Great. Now they're a customer. Now what else does the CRM do? What else do you do with customers? Great, you took their money, now what? Follow up. Keep them happy, right? Offer them an upsell. Hey, you love this app. Maybe you'll actually love the premium version even more, which is additional $10. You offer them an upsell. You're keeping them engaged, you're continually educating them, you're continually making sequences to stay relevant, to stay with them. You want them to be happy. You don't want to lose them. You don't want them not using your app. How many people download apps and never use them? Lots of people. I do. Tons all the time. How many people go to a website once and leave, never come back? We all do. But if I was educated, if I'm getting information, if I'm getting emails, if I'm staying communicated with in a non-slimy way, like you need to do it to where it's relevant. Don't send emails that people don't want. Send good information to your cult, to your cohort, to that group of people. If you're an outdoor brand, send them cool new events in their local area. Send them gear specials on partnered companies. Send them awesome photos of some trip you were just on. Just do things in order that are interesting and that can engage with people. So keep the customer happy. You can also cross-sell them. So you got their money, maybe you upsell them. You know that this lead, which is now a customer, and this is all in the CRM, they are now hot. Okay? You want hot customers. Hot customers buy and buy and buy. This is where the majority of your business is going to come from. You guys know the 80-20 rule? Majority of your business is going to come from that 80% of your business come from 20% of your customers. That's going to be them. Those are your hot and warm customers. And those guys are going to buy everything you give them, and that's Apple. They will buy anything. So you can give them a cross-sell. So you can say, you know what? Let's say we didn't make any new products, but we have a partner company that makes something that you also might like. Or maybe you bought a performance headwear, performance hat from me, but you also might like this jacket. It's really cool. It just came out. It's got the same technology that's in my headwear company. Maybe I made this app, and I have another app. Cross-sell them. And I know this is a lot of information, but don't worry, Aaron will test you on all of it. Sure. So it's just it can be in another vertical. It's just another product it can be either your business or it can be another business. So if I sell headwear, let's say hats are my main business, I might throw you a jacket and say, so an upsell might be like, you bought this one hat, but we also have this other hat for you to purchase. Where a cross-sell might be like, you bought that hat, but I think you're going to love this jacket. Or it might be, we don't sell shoes, but it goes really well with this performance hat, these Brooks shoes. They match perfectly, so there's a cross-sell.
So if you partner with another business, you guys share
So yeah,
CRMs?
great. Another good question. Yes. So certain CRMs will interact with other CRMs, and that's where it starts getting really expensive. So partnership CRMs, I'm going to go through a list of CRM companies. One of them, which is an enterprise level CRM, SAP. Have you guys ever heard of SAP? Okay. They're a publicly traded company, really big in the space. Oracle, another one. I mean, these things are going to cost you millions of dollars to integrate into your business. Oracle, very big system. I don't prefer it. Some people love it. NetSuite, it's another big one. And Microsoft Dynamics, which is another enterprise level CRM. I don't recommend going with any of those to start with. Yeah.
So let's just say that there's another company that you like to target their customer base. How do you utilize the CRM to get a hold of theirs?
All right, so you can't, because that's their private information, right? You're not going to be able to hack into their CRM and steal their customers. I mean, some people have, but you can partner with them possibly and do a joint venture. You guys talked about JV stuff at all in here? So he'll go into that further, but you joint venture with them. You could say, you have the perfect customer for us too, and we have a product that you should cross-sell. So we think you should mail your list about our product. Say they have 1 million people. Imagine if they emailed 1 million people your product, and then you sent them to a landing page where you could now get their information, and then you could start marketing that list. Happens all the time. It's called joint venture. And it's a great way to build your list. Some of the other CRMs, these are the ones I recommend for all you entrepreneurs. Infusionsoft, they're local, but they have a great system. They cost about $300 a month, so it's not pennies, but it's not as expensive as some of the other ones are. Entreport, they are Infusionsoft's direct competitor. They're really good too, offer kind of the same things, which I'll go into what those things are. HubSpot, which is smaller, I think it's like $45 a month. And then the big one, the biggest one that most small businesses use that use a CRM is Salesforce. Did you say that? Yeah. Salesforce is awesome. It starts out around $69 a seat, which is per user. It's what they call a salesman's seat. $69, but that's for bare bones. It's basically a contact management system, which we could just use, Google Apps or something for that. You start stacking in the little things that you need in it, and it's, $95 a month, and then, I need you to do email marketing. Like, you can only send 5,000 emails, and that's going to go up to $150 a month, and before you know it, by the time you get everything you need in it, which is cool because it's configurable, it's going to be as much as like Infusionsoft is. I've used both of them a lot, and Salesforce is preferable if you're doing old school selling. You have a lead, and you're calling it, and you're moving it through the pipeline. And maybe you're sending an email, and maybe you're doing an invoice, or maybe you're doing something that's just kind of old school business. It works well. It's a great way to manage the classic sales pipeline. If you're doing internet marketing, anything that does a lot of social media stuff, Infusionsoft. That's just my pick.
So AMC just moved from Oracle to Salesforce. Why do you think they made that move?
So Salesforce is all cloud-based, whereas Oracle, there's still a lot of hardware components. Now there's Oracle Cloud, which you guys probably had a lot of that in. So Salesforce is definitely more affordable than Oracle maintenance when it comes to IT. So you don't have to pay some extraordinary amount of money to an IT department when it's just all cloud-driven. It's just a lot more easier to use Salesforce. So that's probably why they did it. Yeah, Salesforce is awesome. I can't say anything bad about it. And then there's like really, really old school stuff like Act and Goldmine. Don't use that. All right, so this stuff, some of this CRM stuff is marketing automation is another good word for it. And your goal through all this is if you can avoid this step, that phone call step, if you can get someone to purchase through your landing page and your emails and your sequence, all this, by the way, I don't know if I said this, all this is automated. You're not writing, you wrote these emails a long time ago. This happens when you put in your email address, and then that email address automatically goes right under here, and you get an email that says, thanks for whatever. 2 days later, you get another email. 4 days later, you get another one. And this could be, some of these sequences I've seen from businesses, 500 emails deep, all different stuff. I mean, it could be as long as you want it to be. It could be what's called long-term nurture campaign. Means I'm going to spend a long time warming you up, but you're going to be warm. It's a long-term nurture. Or you can do short-term nurtures like this, like 5 or 6 or 7 emails, and then just eventually drop them into a long-term nurture or send out what's called a broadcast email. A broadcast email is something that would go to part of your list, and it would be some offer, like maybe it's Black Friday or something, and you're doing some special thing, and that would be some special offer you could throw them.
What do you call that again?
A broadcast email. A broadcast offer. So there's an old saying in CRMs and internet marketing stuff, and it goes like this. The money is in the list. So some people have taken that and turned it into the money is in the engagement of that list. And I kind of like that one better because you can have a list of 1 million people, but if you never talk to them, you're not going to sell a single thing. So you need to communicate, you need to warm, you need to build that cult up the best you can because your cult is your buyer and you want them to become hot customers.
Glenn Ross list.
That's right. The money's in the list. So you guys know what that means? Do you understand why the money's in the list? The money's in the list because if you don't know, if you don't have email addresses, you don't have potential leads, you don't have customers, you need to build that list. And that comes to that landing page. And this is where conversion optimization is key. You want this landing page converting at like a 30 to 40% rate. If you're converting at a 30 to 40% rate on that page, you're crushing it because you have a really good lead magnet. And now those people go into your sequence and just do the numbers. You know, any of you can do the numbers. You say, okay, I'm going to send 1,000 people to that landing page and convert at 40%, and then I'm going to throw them through a sequence and really try to raise this conversion rate up. By the time you warm them up, you're way above this 5%, I'll tell you that much. So, it's not free. You can do social media till, you know, you're bleeding out your nose. It's still going to cost some money to advertise. I mean, if you're doing social media, if you're doing Instagram, you're doing Facebook, you're doing LinkedIn, you're doing Snapchat, you're doing all these things, if it's just you doing that, how much time do you think that takes? A ton of time, ton of dedication, posting the right things, thinking about witty things to write. I mean, it's hard. It's really hard. So lately, the most success we've had on one of my businesses is Instagram, actually. Kind of crazy. But you know what's cool is on Facebook, I can run an ad, set it up for my, let's say, a budget of a couple $100 a day, and I try to get that to around 30 cents a click on that ad. And then I know, okay, out of that much money, I'm going to get X amount percentage on my landing page, which means X amount of people are in my sequence, which means I should be selling Y amount down there. And if everything goes smooth and I optimized it, checked the links, changed the copy, changed all these things, you can dial this automation process into a business to where you can go and do whatever the hell you want to do. If you want to be the type of entrepreneur that's a solopreneur, I don't know if you guys have heard that term, you can. You can set this sucker up to where if it's a digital business or if you have someone doing fulfillment for you, you don't even need to be around. You can be in Hawaii on the beach somewhere. I mean it. People do this all day long nowadays. Automation through CRM systems is the future of online business. And you can growth hack that list to really build up a huge number of people that you think would be interested potential buyers, leads, and run them through that system. And that's really a CRM. That's really the beauty of it. So I got a few little more things, and then I'll be done. And then I'll ask some questions. Yep.
Is there a kind of an average number of people that is, you know, that is, at that point it becomes, you know, that you want to use CRM? Because up to a certain point, obviously, as a startup, you're not going to be paying $70 a month until you've established a certain number of customers.
I would say it should be one of your first expenses.
But is there like a, you know, say, you know, at
Zero.
200 0?
I say start from jump. You want, if you can get free CRM too. So you can use, I think Zoho's is free. Just Google free CRM and then look at some reviews on those. They're not great, but from the beginning, you need to be collecting that data and analyzing it. Because if you don't know who's buying your product or who's downloading your app or or why they like it, then you don't know it. You're blind. Data is your friend. Now, there's something called vanity metrics, but I'm not going in that. But this data is going to tell you if your business is healthy, if your business is doing well, if you're on the right track. Otherwise, you don't know what you're doing. You're like literally just throwing shit at the wall. Sorry, but that's what's happening. Like, you need to know what's going on. If you want to be a successful business, a CRM is going to help you so much. And for like the data nerds in here, like, you're going to go crazy and love that stuff. Like, you're going to be able to really tweak it out and say, oh, wow, okay, this link got an extra 5%, and maybe it's because there's a capital C on that. You know, there's all kinds of crazy stuff that people get into. And if you can do some research on conversion optimization, do it, conversion optimization of landing page, conversion optimization of sequences, conversion optimization of advertising. There's a lot of good stuff that's coming out in that now. You know, a lot of secrets are being exposed, and there's a lot of cool ways to kind of get people to buy your stuff. And it comes down to persuasion architecture, which is another buzz term going on right now, which is persuading somebody to take action. So you can use that on your landing page. And I don't know if Aram talked about this lead magnet. You're going to need a really good call to action too. So your call to action would be something like free t-shirt, get it now, only 30 available. So that's scarcity. So when there's only a certain amount available, it's a scarce resource. It makes you want it more. So look up some psychology when it comes to conversion. There's some really interesting stuff out there with it. But it all comes down to the CRM, because that's the hub, that's the nervous system. That's your business's flow. You need to have that. One more quick thing, and then I'll be done. Bounce rate. So the reason why you don't just send them to the website is because if you send 100 people there, you send 100 people to your homepage, you know what's going to happen? 99 of them are out. You have 1% that are going to actually kind of read through it. 99 of those 100 are just going to land on it and be like, and go. You just wasted all that money. That's like $50 if you're spending 50 cents a click. That's gone. So great. So that's why you send them here first to your landing page. So if you imagine 1% that land on here, on your website homepage, out of that, now out of that 1%, your conversion's 1% off of that. That's where that conversion rate is lower. So this is like, you never do this. You never want to do it. You have to hit a landing page first. And there's different types of landing pages. There's something called squeeze page, which is a little bit different. But that's for another time. And questions?
On that landing page, do you want to make that page associated with your brand? Or do you want it to be like another, I guess, like almost not made up company, like someone else that's like maybe implying, like maybe a cold member kind of like type like blog that's like kind of writing about it, get this product, this is the one you need.
You try both. And then you split test them. Maybe it's a landing page with a different URL, right? You know, world's best whatever. You know, maybe it's a review site. You've seen those before. A lot of them are review sites, but they're really just click, affiliate links to another site. It could be all kinds of things. You split test the difference. You could do your brand. So typically I would do, if we're trying to build a brand, we would do a brand name on there, and then we would try different lead magnets. So real quick, actually, let's come up with just a few lead magnets, because that's like really important. So what would be another good lead magnet? Let's come up with another product. Give me a product idea, anything. Okay, so you're selling iPhones. What would be a good lead magnet to get someone to put their email address in there?
Like a coupon maybe?
Okay, discounts, totally. What else?
Free apps.
Free apps? Why not? What else?
Logo.
What's that?
Logo.
Yep. What else?
Song download.
Yeah, free song. Totally. Another freebie. So another thing is like,
Discount on accessories?
yeah, discount on accessories. Maybe a training series on how to use that iPhone. Why not? I don't know how to use it, but hey, they're going to give me free, video series on how to use it. Maybe a downloadable ebook, something, an instruction manual that's broken out. Something that it could be, all these things could be free that you give them, right? You don't want this to be costing you any real money, or not much at least. So just always kind of try to envision what your lead magnets will be early on, and it'll make your life a whole lot easier.